So anytime that we see Goldango kind of pop up and be the dominant force in the metagame, there has to be an answer, and that answer is Toedscruel EX, and this card is a lot of fun and just nice to have because of the fact that it really does just pop up every time Goldango starts to kind of become more and more of an issue. I never knew. Wow, didn't know I could do this. But sorry. But yeah, so the whole reason with this card being really good is that it has two things that make it really, really powerful into our current metagame, and that's its ability, Protective Mycelium, and what it does is that it prevents all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to all your Pokemon that have an energy attached. So it turns all your energies into mist energies, which means Dragapult can only attack the active. It does not have the ability to spread damage, which is really, really good because it helps prevent your bench from getting pinged and all that, which is obviously very good. It also has the Colony Rush attack, so not only are you essentially getting mist energies all over the board, but you're also getting more damage because it does 80 damage for 2 Grass Energy, and this attack does 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that have any Grass Energy attached. So as we attach Grass Energies, we're going to get more damage, and the easiest way to do that is with the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, where we can use the Teal Dance ability, where during our turn we can attach a basic Grass Energy from your hand to this Pokemon, and if you attach an energy this way, then you get to draw a card. So not only are we powering these up to attack with the Leaf Shower, but we also get more cards to our hand, so it kind of functions as a little bit of a draw engine, as well as it's protected from the Protective Mycelium, and we plus up damage. So there's really good synergy there between them. But because we're playing Toedscool or Toedscool in order to make our Toedscruel EX, it also makes it really easy for us to play the regular baby Toedscruel, and this is what gives us our really powerful Goldango matchup, because this has the Slime Mold Colony ability, where cards in your opponent's discard pile cannot be added to their hand by the effects of your opponent's abilities or trainer cards. This is huge because it means that they can't use things like the Superior Energy Retrieval or Night Stretchers or any of those kind of cards. And since we're already running the Toedscool, we can just run this for free. And that way, if our opponent is playing Goldango and they run over one of our Toedscruel, they're just not getting that energy back. And then even if they want to boss this up and KO it, that's totally fine, because we're going to be able to just go Super Rod, and we're already going to have Toads on the board to evolve it back into anyway. So as long as we, in the matchups with Goldango, to keep one Toad available at all times, we're pretty much chilling and have a free win. So it works out really well. Psyduck is also a card that really helps this deck because we can throw it on the bench, give it a Mist Energy with just by having a Grass Energy on it, and then Dragapult can't use Dusknoirs either, so it really helps our matchup into both of those. The only card I'm iffy on in this deck right now is the Genesect. I'm running it personally, though I don't see many other people running it. Just as a cornerstone answer, because you can just very quickly throw some energy onto this and then attack with either the Bug Cannon or the Speed Attack and be able to knock out cornerstones. I'm sure there's a better answer, but this is the best one I've found so far. But if you have other ideas, definitely let me know. And then we run an Iron Leaves EX because it's just pretty powerful and is a good, just quick attacker. We do run Budew in order to slow our opponents down. We are looking to go second. And then we're playing a copy of Latias EX, Mew EX, and Fezandipiti EX as our supporter Pokemon, just to help draw us some cards and be able to move our pieces around a little bit easier. As for supporters, we're playing a pretty sweet line of 4 Lillies, 3 Iono, 3 Boss's Orders, and 1 copy of End's Plan. This is just so that way we can move 2 energy from our benched Pokemon to your active. So if we have a bunch of extra energy on to the Iron Leaves or like the Ogerpon on our bench or something like that, just allows us to power up our Toedscool really quickly. Or again, if we need a quick cornerstone response, Genesect. Then for item cards, we're just playing 4 copies of Bug Catching Set because everything is a grass Pokemon except for our 2, our EX supporters and our Psyduck. And we run 10 Grass Energy, so we're going to be able to find our pieces pretty easily. We're running 4 Nest Ball to make that also a little bit easier to find our pieces, 2 Ultra, and then Area 0 Underdepths. This is really nice because if we have a Terra Pokemon in play, then we can go up to 8 Pokemon on the bench. And since our Ogerpons are on the bench anyway, it'll allow us to just get a big board and hit for a ton of damage. But yeah, that's pretty much the list. It's pretty straightforward. I think this deck is really, really good right now. The only main thing I will say is I'm also running Hero's Cape in the deck. I know Prime Catcher is really common. Me and Bluestone, shout out Bluestone TCG, go subscribe to him. We're discussing it, and he was thinking Max Belt. I think Max Belt is a good option as well. But the Hero's Cape actually shores up our Charizard matchup because of Chi-Yu. Hero's Cape lets us live one Chi-Yu attack, and that completely offsets the math, where on that turn that we live, we can go ahead, boss up like a Charizard or something. In testing, it's worked out pretty well. So there's definitely other options you can do, but so far Hero's Cape has been kind of come in clutch for me, so I've been liking that a lot. You could also run like Legacy Energy and things like that. But yeah, that's just going to be it for this breakdown. We'll jump into the games in just a second, but as always, I just want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It really does go a long way. It means a lot, so thank you guys so much for that. As for everybody else, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. And if you're interested, be sure to catch us on Fridays when we stream. If you want to be notified about that, as always, just subscribe to the channel or join our community Discord, where I typically post about when I'm going to be going live and things like that. But yeah, that's just about it, and I'll see you guys in game one. Peace. All right, we're into the game, and we're going to be going second, which is what we really want, just to make it a little bit easier for us to not only find our pieces, because we'll have draw supporters and things like that, but also if we can get into our Budew, just make it a little bit easier to start swinging and get some damage on the board. We do see them open Chi-Yu. Okay, that's actually kind of nice, because if we can deal with this Chi-Yu early, that'll make things a lot easier. Just getting it off the board, making it a little bit more inconvenient for our opponent, just because it is definitely a it's the roughest part of this matchup. We will attach manually to the active, go ahead and Lillies, where we do see another energy, an energy switch. I think what I want to do is just get my Budew out as quickly as possible. Retreat out here, bring Budew in, and then we'll Teal Dance for 1. We do get our Area 0. We'll start the item lock on the other side and see what we can do. This will stop like Buddy Poffins, all that kind of stuff. We do see the Charmeleon come out, but that's okay. Unless they have Charizard inactive, we don't have too much to worry about. I'm going to go Ultra Ball, get rid of these. Grab myself my Toedscruel EX. Place this down. I'm going to Buddy Puff, or not Buddy Puff, an Energy Switch. 1 energy to it. I will throw my Stadium down at this point as well, and then go for a fresh 8. The main goal here is that what I want to accomplish, I want to accomplish like 3 things with this turn, and I was able to do them. I want to get as many cards out of my hand that I don't need as possible to free up like space. We'll Teal Dance here. We'll go and grab 1 more Ogerpon. Just also so that way I don't redraw those cards later on when I Lillies. Like if I can use them for something, I want to, so that way, like I said, I don't redraw them when I go to use the 8. We'll go ahead and Teal Dance here. And what we're gonna do is go energy for turn here, energy switch this over here. We can retreat out, knock out this Chi-Yu, and then I want a Bug Catching Set and just prep myself so that way I can make a new Toedscruel if I have to. We'll place this down, and then we will swing with the Colony Rush for 280, knocking out the Chi-Yu. There's our Latias, which only really matters if we get like bossed or something. But now if they make Charizard EX, we're not threatened. If they go town store, we'll get rid of the Budew and one of the Toedschools. If they make Charizard EX, we're not threatened. If they make Mega Charizard X, unless they have Oricorio, we're not threatened. And we do have energies in order to start drawing with our TMS. So we're kind of chilling. Buddy Poffin comes out. This grabs them, Charmander and Pidgey. Ultra Ball, double TM Evo away, so they're going to want to go aggressive on this turn. There's the Charizard EX. This will not do enough damage to KO us unless they have a boss's orders. They could boss to one of the Ogerpons, take 2. Then we come in and KO this, and so that's not really that great for them. And like that's the thing, we got very lucky being able to deal with the Chi-Yu. It does seem like they're going to boss an Ogerpon to take the lead in prizing, but that's still fine. We're going to bring this in. We could boss the Pidgey down. I don't really know if we want to do that, though. I'll go Teal Dance to start. We do get Iron Leaves. It's not a bad backup attacker either. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Town Store. Unfortunately, our Hero's Cape is prized. I don't think I'm going to need these in this game. It seems like they're playing a build without Pulse or without what am I talking about? The Duskulls. And so I'm not too worried about that either. So I kind of just want to dig. I don't think Iono is the play here, because I do want to keep. We're going to super out all that back in. I think I want to keep what we have, because I want to have the ability to go Iron Leaves on the upcoming turn. Okay, cool. We have Area Zero as well as Hero's Cape. Again, if they go the path of, like, they evolve into Zard, take 2, you know, like, they swing into Zard here, we'll be fine. Because we can just Hero's Cape and survive whatever. Like, we're going to be able to Iono on the next turn. The odds that off 2 they get Rare Candy Zard, unless this is a Pidgeot and like a Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Zard play. Oh, they're playing Moltres and the Chi-Yu. Okay, I'll be honest, wasn't really expecting that. They do get the Lilies. I don't think this KOs me though, right? Well, with Max Belt, it definitely does. Alright, so that comes in. They go down to 2. I think the play... We'll bring this in. We get Counter Catcher. I'm not as worried about leaving this then. So yeah, I think the play, I want to Counter Catcher Fez because I really, really want to be able to Iono here. Perfect. We make this. Energy Switch. And then we just need to find 1 energy, essentially. We're going to go Area 0. Open our bench up. I'm going to go Mew. I'll place the Toad and Iono to 3. where we do find an energy. I'm gonna go. I do have access to Energy Switch. That'll let me draw more off the Fez. All right, this is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna Teal Dance. Energy Switch this to the Genesect, open up for a Bug Cannon play, as well as get extra damage. We get to Teal Mask, and then we're going to swing for 240. Going down to a final prize card where we get another boss and a Lillie's. With the Hero's Cape, we will survive the Moltres, because it was for 340 last time, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let's scroll back. 320. All right, yeah, so we do survive. They go Iono to 2. We actually end up with another energy, and that's going to be the game. So that's the point. Hero's Cape is literally for this matchup. It's just to sure it up. That is the whole reason why we run Hero's Cape. Now, obviously, this was Moltres and not Chi-Yu, and we were able to deal with the Chi-Yu earlier. And if it was Chi-Yu with Max Belt, then, like, we wouldn't be able to do it. But it's like, this is where, like, Hero's Cape comes in so clutch, because if we didn't have this, we would really be struggling. But yeah, this is why we run Hero's Cape. With that said, there's other A-specs you can run, but it's saved me so many times in situations like this, and just kind of shores that up, especially with more and more Moltres running around than Chi-Yu. But yeah, with that said, that's going to be game number 1. We'll jump into game number 2 in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, we're in the next game. Our opponent is going first. We'll see what we draw. It's just a Lottie and not much else. This is one of the situations where we kind of wish we were playing Squawk. This, I assume, is the Lopunny build. We get a Bug Catcher set. We see a Latias. Mega Kangaskhan comes out. Okay, Artisan's huge for us here. Very, very big. Because we're going to want to be able to Artisan to get our, like, our pieces and stuff like that before we Area 0. And if we can get, like, a Budew, especially if we can get a Budew off the Bug Catching set, we're going to be in a really good spot. So, let's go ahead and we're going to go Artisan to guarantee our Duck. Make it so they have to have Klefki. We unfortunately only get an energy that seems to have warped with End somehow. Yeah, there's the End's artwork that's just like warped into it. Not a very great start here. We're gonna go Teal Mask, draw. Alright, we get another Area 0. I don't really think we need that right now. I'm gonna get rid of this. I think I have to go Budew here. I think I just lose if I don't pull something off this awkward energy. Let's go huge. Alright, place the Area 0. Lilies. We put our faith into Teal Mask. And Teal Mask provided. So we'll go Bug Catching Set. Absolutely massive. We'll go Budew. Energy here. Retreat. Bring this in. Itchy Pollen. Super big. This stops like where Candy plays that could happen onto the Duskull. It stops. I mean, they're not playing Prime Catcher, but it would prevent that from being a problem. We see Cypher's Maniac. They can obviously KO my Budew here with a Mega Lopunny. And that is a minor issue for sure. But I'm not all too worried about that. I would honestly be okay taking a turn to, like, boss up the Duskulls and deal with them. But if I have to two-hit the Mega Lopunny, like, that's also fine, because we're just going to win out a prize trade. So we'll bring Lottie to the active. If I can Super Rod the Budew back, that wouldn't even be bad either. We'll grab this. We'll go Evolve here. Place the Fez down. I'm going to Fez draw. We do get a Hero's Cape as well as an Energy Switch. I like the idea of going Teal Dance for 1. Get another one. Go Energy Switch. This keeps our manual attachment for turn open. I'm going to go Hero's Cape to the active. Just kind of burn that early. I don't think I'll need either one of these cards. So I'm down to just Ultra Ball these away. Use that. Find myself. How many energy do I have? Just find myself one more Toad for now. And I actually don't need it, so I'm just going to put it to the bottom of my deck. This is more just to get cards out. Unfortunately, we don't have access to another Ogerpon because it's prized. We'll see what we can pull off the Bug Catching Set. We do get 2 more energy. We're going to be able to Teal Dance 1. We do keep Counter Catcher open. I wonder how much damage we're actually going to be able to do this turn. We'll go Teal Dance again. We get another boss. We'll retreat. Bring this in. We're only doing 240. But we could, and I think we will, switch this, put it onto our Toedscool here, and then what we'll do is go Counter Catcher, pull up the Mega Latias, KO this, take 2 prizes. Grab ourselves 2 prizes here, where we get another energy and a Toad. And I think our play is we only need 2 more energy on board to be dealing with both of these. And so we can either, what I was really hoping for is that we would get like an energy and like an Ogerpon, but just 1 energy is also fine. They bring Mega Lopunny back in. We'll probably just go manual attach energy onto the Fez here. Let's see. 280. Let's go Nest Ball really quickly. See what's available in our deck. We have 2 energy left in deck. We do have access to 2 Energy Switch. And we do have some Bug Catching Sets as well as a Super Rod. So the odds of us getting to where we need to be aren't honestly awful. I'm going to burn the Nest Ball. I'll keep the other one available. I'm going to manually attach for turn onto the Psyduck, because I think that's fine. And then I am going to Lillies here. Get myself 6. where I find an energy and an energy switch, which is very, very good, as well as the fact that I can actually Super Rod here and put Mew back and the other Toedscool EX. And then what I'll do is go for the Teal Dance. Grab that. We'll do 40 more. Unfortunately, we'll be short by 20, which is a little sad. Is there a way to fix that? Now with this, had we drawn into Iron Leaves, then we could have. Getting triple supporter here is a little bad, but it's okay. I don't really mind all that much. I'm actually fine. Okay, we're gonna burn this again. We'll go. And I think for right now, it's fine. We're already short. So we'll go place it onto the Toad. Swing for 280. Just let that be. Again, we were going to be 10 damage short no matter what. We needed to find one more energy. And if we were able to do that, we would have been in a better spot. But this is still okay. Or if we were able to pull up the Mega Kang, that also would have been fine. But we'll get knocked out here. They'll go down to 3. We can respond with a knockout of our own, most likely, by probably just targeting down the Mega Kang, if we're going to be honest here. Or if we, depending on what we get into, we could also look to like pop this if we want to Super Rod something back in, because we should have another Super Rod available. Let's go for the flip the script, where we do get a Super Rod. So we're fine to Super Rod, 2 energy, and a Genesect, actually. I think that's fine. We could go Iono, put them to 3, but then we only draw 4. So what do we think our odds are? And do we think it's more worth it to just go Lilies here for 2 more cards? I think it's fine to go Iono here. All right, perfect. We get the Genesect. We're going to go Bug Catching Set. Find ourselves Iron Leaves and another energy. We're going to go Teal Dance. We find another energy. This is all okay. We keep digging. There's the Toad. And then what we're going to be able to do is retreat. Bring Toedscruel in. And then what we'll do is we'll go Iron Leaves. Bring Iron Leaves in. We're going to bring 1 energy from this one. 1 energy from this one. Oh, we already retreated for turn. Oops. I forgot we already retreated for turn. That is going to cost us. Because the idea here is that we would have been able to bring this in, retreat, go back into Toad, and then place another energy. This definitely hurts us. I think we have to get rid of Fez and Latias and 1 Ogerpon. And then I think what the response is going to have to be is that we're going to... They're going to KO us here. Right? We'll live that, and then what we have to look for is a KO onto... we're going to have to look for our other energy switch and look for Genesect onto the Toedscruel is going to be our line of play. Yeah, we have to Iono here too. Because they're definitely going to have Jet Energy, so I think, yeah, we have to go Iono. Put them to 1. They get Decipher. So not much really changes there, but we swing for 200. We get ourselves 3 different cards from our prizes. And now we have to see if there's energy switches available. There is one. There's Klefki. They run Errand. Jet Energy will allow us to live. They just Gale Thrust, so they don't have the damage to get over Toad. So it actually, our plan didn't matter in the end anyway. Alright, we got a little lucky there, not gonna lie. This one was like awkward. They needed to play around Klefki a lot sooner. Us whiffing KO there, honestly, our biggest mistake was that we retreated early. We had to make the decision on if we were going to play around Iron Leaves or not. So kind of an awkward one, but we were able to pull it out just due to the fact that we're a little beefy. And we are able to just like protect Psyduck and things like that. But yeah, that's going to be it for game number 2. We'll jump into the breakdown in a second. And, you know, sometimes this is why we don't concede on mistakes. You know, our opponents can also be making mistakes. And it might just work out in the end if you believe hard enough. But yeah, that's going to be it for game number 2. We'll jump in the breakdown in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Going into the breakdown for Toedscruel EX, I think this deck is actually in such a good spot right now and is a ton of fun to play. Maybe my favorite deck at the moment. So definitely something I'm considering taking to cups and other like league challenges and all that kind of stuff. And higher levels of play going forward. Obviously, if the meta like dramatically changes, then that'll change. But you get my point. I think this deck is really good in terms of giving it the rating. I'll go power 3.5 out of 5. This is because your damage is situational and you kind of like have to pre-plan your movements. And as we even saw in the video, some of your pieces getting moved around can be like a little bit awkward. Like actually using the Iron Leaves effectively and not being bad with it is, you know, something you got to get used to and something that like takes a little practice, as well as knowing like when and how often to use your energy switches and things like that. And like if you want to hold on to them for later, not stacking too much energy on any one card and all that kind of stuff is really important. And then just overall things like that. I think that the power, though, you do have the capacity to hit really high, which is also super good. Being able to knock out Kangaskhan, like without having to hit for weakness is really good and things like that. Though, obviously, it can be a little hard to get over the big megas that are, you know, like 360 and all that kind of stuff, though it is possible. But a lot of times you're just going to be two-shotting those, so it's not awful. Going to consistency, this is where this deck really shines. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of the Bug Catching Set. I just don't really think it's a very good card. But in this deck, it works out really well. And mostly, like, being able to just Lillies and then just, like, dump a bunch of draw into your Teal mask is just, like, really nice. So you're able to get things pretty consistently. With that said, you could play Squawkabilly in this deck. This is something I didn't talk about in the breakdown. Like in the deck breakdown at the beginning, you can play Squawkabilly in this deck to like make your opening hands even more consistent. but I don't think it's necessary, and like most of the time it doesn't matter. And then Squawkabilly just kind of becomes like this dead card that gets bossed up and is like really annoying, so I prefer not to use it if I do not have to. And I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary in this deck, though it definitely does have moments where it kind of shines and can matter. Going into its matchups, this is where I think this deck excels. This is where I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Your Goldango matchup is really, really good. Your Charizard matchup is favored as long as you can play around the Chi-Yu. Which obviously is a little bit rough, but that's also why we play like the Hero's Cape. If they don't have Max Belt Chi-Yu, we're chilling, because we only need to survive like one attack on it, and then we're looking to just boss the Pidgeot, boss the Zard every turn after we deal with Chi-Yu. And if we have to, we can also use our own one prizer in Genesect in order to knock out the Chi-Yu and just have a one prizer on the board and kind of play around that as well. So it's an interesting matchup to play out, but it is not bad for us. Your Pult matchup is really good. So yeah, it's really in a good spot. Your Guardy matchup is awkward, but not like horrible either. So yeah, definitely its matchups across the board are really good. Obviously Ceruledge and things like that are a problem, but if you run into Ceruledge, it's not the matchups we're aiming for. So if we lose to it, like we lose to it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just about it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate it. Be sure to let me know what decks you want to see in the future. If you have a list or card you want me to like play or test out or anything like that, be sure to just let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's just about it. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.